everyone. My name is Alicia Evans. This is Lindsay Webster, Alan Pro, and Kelsey Burgess. And we have decided to do
Tulsa Band.
So we went to Tulsa Band and talked to Seth, one of the managers there, to find out what he wanted from us. And he basically wants to know how they can compete with other music stores, whether their customers are more likely to purchase online or in the store, and what kind of instrument types that they prefer. Basically, the decision problem that we came up with is how to increase their revenue. We did some secondary research to find out the overall industry, and we didn't really find much in that. Basically, overall, customers base their decisions to purchase something because of price, their income level, the time they have to practice with the instrument. Again, the decision problem is how can we increase Tulsa Band's revenue. The research problems are to determine customer satisfaction with Tulsa Band's current products and services, their loyalty to Tulsa Band, and the influences that affect band directors' recommendations. The organization of the report will include the methods. Lindsay will talk about that in a minute. That includes the communication methods that we did, sampling techniques, sample response rate. Alan will talk about the results that we came up with, and we'll finally sum up with the recommendations for Tulsa Band.
All right, for our communication methods, we did surveys on SurveyMonkey and Qualtrics, and we had two kinds of surveys, one for the band directors and one for the parent of the band students. For our sampling technique, we used a non-probability technique and more specifically a snowball sample technique. And we had two target samples, the band directors of local schools and the parents of the band students in those schools. We had a response rate of what we think is in the range of 20 to 30%, and we're not positive about that because we did online surveys, so it's hard to tell exactly who was exposed to our surveys.
The first section of the survey that respondents answered to was customer purchases, where they had actually purchased equipment before. The following were Tulsa Band, the music store, SAID, online purchases, as well as other stores that were not listed. And actually only 19% of our respondents actually purchased from Tulsa Band, whereas in 58% purchased from SAID. 7% only from the music store, and 12% online, and only 4% from other various stores. The next section was customer familiarity, how many stores they'd actually heard of. And the one we're actually doing is 59%. So that actually left 40% that have never actually heard Tulsa Band. It was actually a staggering 90% for SAID. A lot of people who probably even don't buy instruments have heard of that place as a very high number for that. Whereas in the music store it was 44%, 32% of other places, and it was actually 5% missing on that one there. So not too bad of a number for Tulsa Band. We'd really like to get that up. The next section was influential purchasing factors. What was actually important to the customer? There's actually quite a few of those, but customer service, instrument quality, store atmosphere, brand recognition, instrument variety, sound quality, reliability, band director recommendations, staff helpfulness, staff friendliness, and knowledge as well from the staff, as well as friend and other recommendations and warranties was one as well. This chart actually shows the three major influential factors were customer service, which ranked the highest, then instrument and staff quality, and then the band director recommendations. The next section was ratings of various purchase decision factors by the final consumers. We actually just took the last question a step further by accessing the ratings of various influential factors. We added price while decreasing the number of instrument and staff variations. With a scale of unimportant to very important, or a 4-point scale, we found that first overall was product quality with a 3.7, or 56%, was very important to the respondent. Next was customer service, was 3.6 on the scale of 1 to 4, or 63% was very important. And that was the highest out of all those on the very important scale. Price was 3.4 with 49% on very important, followed by product attributes, warranties, band director recommendations, friend recommendations, and atmosphere as well. The next section was online purchases and future purchases. We were quite surprised actually how these numbers turned up. When asked on how many have actually purchased online, only 29% or 17 respondents actually purchased anything online, whereas in 71% have not. In addition to that, we asked them what the potential was if they would buy anything online, and 48% said very unlikely, where only 12% said very likely. So we found that those who order online were actually very familiar with Tulsa Band, though, with a 90.9% confidence level. And there was also an interesting fact that we discovered, that there was a negative correlation between the importance of price and in a purchase decision and how many children they bought for. That was a 71.2% confidence level. So basically, the more children that they had in band, the less the price mattered.
And we had 3 limitations with our project. The first limitation was a lack of response from band directors. Because of their busy schedules, it was hard to get in contact with them and make sure that they filled out the surveys. The next limitation was lack of response from parents. Because we weren't speaking to the parents directly, we had to make sure that the kids got the surveys to their parents. And our last limitation was that we were not allowed to distribute surveys at some schools.
Based on the following survey results, we came up with 5 recommendations. 1, we wouldn't recommend focusing too heavily on the online area. Concentrate more on the actual foot traffic and sponsor school events such as games, the yearbooks, and assemblies. But if and when you did decide to focus on the online area, contact the National Band Director Associations and join discussion boards. Get involved in that sense and ask others how they would do and not do certain things. Thirdly, recommend building relationships and increasing staff cohesiveness. Focus on customer service. Fourthly, build their brand to become more familiar and recognizable. And last, band director recommendations. Personal selling through volunteers at OSU to become missionary salesmen to get their name known.